All right, people, what's up, everyone, and welcome to another video. And it is time for my most anticipated games of 2023, which is a video I don't normally do. I've done it maybe a few times here and there, but it's not like an annual thing. I don't even do a best movies and games of the previous year, let alone ones I'm looking forward to the most. But this year is insane what video game releases. It's insane. I even made a video, I think, about like the games coming out in 2023. It's insane. It really is. To the point where I was originally, I'm not even gonna lie, I was gonna do a top five. Just top five, easy, you know. But then I was like looking at all the games I was looking forward to. I was like, oh yeah, that too, that too. Oh yeah, I gotta mention that. So I was like, all right, top 10. And then I kept adding stuff. I was like, I can't. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Top 20, baby. And not even that. We're doing a top 20. But I got a ton of honorable mentions. So in a way, I guess you could say this is honorable. This is the top 20, but you're gonna get like like a little over maybe 30, even 40 games. I didn't count. I have a lot of honorable mentions. So before we get to the top 20, we're gonna go through the honorable mentions. I don't have any pictures for these because there's a lot of games here, and having all the pictures and stuff. Honestly, I did this last minute and I didn't get the pictures ready. So just as a quick visual aid, I don't want to talk about them too long. We're just gonna have a notepad entry up right here just so you can keep along. Don't ask me what the X's mean. So let's get to it. First is Mina the Hollower, which is a game from the Shovel Knight developers. Looks really good. I highly recommend checking it out. Diablo 4, of course, everybody knows what that is. Diablo 4 just barely didn't make it. I know my number 20 is going to piss some people off. I know it. Actually, I think my number 1 is going to piss a lot of people off, but we'll get to that later. But Diablo 4, the reason why I did it is because I'm a little worried about it. Gameplay-wise, I'm sure it's going to be fine, but everything with the Activision shit, I keep hearing they're going to add, like, weird shit, I don't even want to get into it, but I'm a little worried about it, and especially since how Diablo Immortal started off, and of course Diablo 3 started off. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna have as many problems as those two games had, but I'm still worried about it. It looks really fun. I'm just really not into the lore of Diablo. I'm sure I would be if I played them and focused on the story. I just play them as a fun game, but I am excited for it. I'm a little worried about it though. I did hear the impressions were really good though, which I wasn't. I wasn't surprised when I heard that the game is good, but I'm just worried if it's gonna have too much bullshit wrapped around it. That was way too long. So let's get through it quick. Suikoden 1 and 2. Never played Suikoden, so I'm really excited to see this HD combo pack. Silk Song, never played Hollow Knight, so that's the only reason why it's here. If I did, I'm sure it would be in my top 20, maybe in my top 10. Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think these are going to be both very fun games. I still have to play a Ghostbusters game. Just too many multiplayer games to play. But I will definitely at least try out the Texas Chainsaw one. Killer Clowns, we'll see how it is. They both look fun. I've heard the Texas Chainsaw one is actually really good from impressions. I don't know if anybody got to play Killer Clowns yet, but it looks unique and fun. So I'm excited for both of those. Lollipop Chainsaw Remake, this is very strange because I enjoyed Lollipop Chainsaw. I actually have a review for that game back when it first came out, like 11 years ago at this point. And I enjoyed it. It has nothing to do with James Gunn, and it has nothing to do with the developer. I don't know. We're not even sure if it's technically a remake. It might even just be called Lollipop Chainsaw and have nothing to do with Julia and her boyfriend, which was the head. I really enjoyed the original game. It's not great, but it's fun. And a likable character. It's pretty funny writing. I like it. I like the tone. It's a fun time. It's like a good 5 to 6 hour experience, and it's fun. Anyway, Pragmata. This game we still don't know anything about. All we know is that there's a guy in a spacesuit and there's a little girl and a bunch of shit fall, and it's Capcom. That's all we know, but I'm excited to learn more. Witchfire, which is from the makers of Painkiller and The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Gameplay for this looks fun. When they first revealed it, I was like, oh shit, Painkiller? Oh yeah, baby. And then after they showed more gameplay last year, I was like, okay, it looks a little bit slower than I was expecting. It still looks fun. They showed gameplay again, not like maybe a couple weeks ago, and it still looks fun. I'm just a little worried about it. It'll probably be good though. Redfall, I am excited for Redfall. I almost made my top 20, but I don't know. I feel like they haven't been marketing it the best. Every time they show it, it's. I think it looks fun, but a lot of people don't. We'll see. Like a Dragon Ishin. The only reason why this isn't making my top 20 is because I'm way too far behind in the Yakuza series. Like I played like maybe 8 hours of Yakuza 0, and that's about it. So that's really far behind. But this game looks great. So I don't know. I wanted to put it on there. Tekken 8. I'm just not a big fighting game guy. Tekken 8 looks really great, but yeah, I can't put it too high. System Shock remake. Even though I never played the original System Shock. I played System Shock 2. The original System Shock's a little too archaic. I haven't played it, but it looks really archaic, especially compared to System Shock 2 and of course BioShock. This looks like a really good remake. I'm still a little worried about it. I'm sure this is going to piss some people off. Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. The only reason why that's here is because I never really played Armored Core, but I'm sure it'll be great. RoboCop Rogue City. I love RoboCop, and I'm hopeful it's good. It's from the guys that made the last Terminator game, which was a solid, like, maybe 7 out of 10. So I'm hoping at least we get a 7 out of 10. And Peter Weller is back, so that's cool. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. We just need to see some fucking gameplay. It's made by guys at The Division. I really enjoyed the first Division. Didn't play the second one, but well, I played a little bit, but I didn't play a lot of it. But it could be good. We'll see. Lies of P. I'm just not the biggest Souls-like guy. But it looks great. I mean, the Pinocchio stuff and the world stuff. Pal World, this is the game where it's like I want to say, is it an MMO? I'm actually not 100% sure, but it is a game all about, it's like Pokemon, except you have guns, and you're going to shoot the Pokemon. It looked good. Stellar Blade is that one game. Oh, wait, actually, I'm just going to remove that here. I forgot to remove that. Don't look at that. There might be a reason for that. Stellar Blade, this is the game that, I think it had like I think it was called Project Eve at one point, but it's the one that PlayStation keeps showing with the waifu, and it actually has a lot of really cool looking combat. It's got the waifu. Anyway, it actually looks pretty fun, so I wanted to put it on there. And then Octopath Traveler 2. I still have yet to play Octopath Traveler 1. And not that I don't think you really need to play 1 to play 2. But I did just play Live Alive, and I loved it. I loved Live Alive, and I'm actually clamoring for more. So that should have probably been in my top 20. But I might not have time for it. And my number 20 is a game that I will have time for it, because I'm sure it's not going to be very long. So without further ado, actually, let's have some ado, and let me just take a break real quick. All right, so let's get to it, okay? I'm going to try to get through these pretty quick because I don't want this video to be like an hour long. So I'm going to limit myself to about a minute per game. So let's get to it with number 20, which I know is going to surprise the shit out of everybody because it's going to be a weird one. And that is Wanted Dead, which is a game I just removed from my honorable mentions. You probably skipped that because you don't care. You're probably just going to skip through the entire video, huh? You're going to do that, aren't you? You're not even going to watch this video. You're just going to skip through, oh, number 20 was that, number 19, because I'm going to put timestamps. Shit. You're not even going to listen why. You know what? I just decided I'm going to say stupid shit. I'm going to say the dumbest stuff. Oh, man. And no one's going to hear it because they're just going to skip through it. Anyway, so Wanted Dead is a game made by a bunch of poopy heads. I'm just kidding. They're not poopy heads. You're the poopy head because you're not watching this. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's a game made by Soleil, I think is the developer's names. That's how you pronounce them. Those are the guys that did Samurai Jack, the Battle Through Time game, which I thought was really good. They did the last Valkyrie Elysium game, but they also were, I think, I'm a little confused about this. They were the original, I think that the original developers for a game called Devil's Third, which is a game that is notoriously bad, but really fun. Really bad, but fun game. I love it. I love Devil's Third. It might have been one of the best times I've ever had with a video game. I'm not going to lie. It was bad. And if you have a Wii U before the Wii U shop closes, please buy Devil's Third. It's like $20. It's so, maybe it's more, but it's so bad, but so fun. At least watch a playthrough. It's so fucking fun. Gameplay wise, it's fun. Play it on the easiest mode. I would recommend nothing else. And this game is from them in some form. I'm still a little confused about it because they had a different name back then, but I think they're still the same developers. They just renamed, I think. I'm not 100% sure. But the game itself looks like a blast. I think they've marketed the hell out of this game. It looks great. They just had an anime music video, which was great. The characters look all really fun. The main character is the one in the front right there. You got, what's her name? The actress that played Quiet from Metal Gear Solid 5's in there. It looks great. It looks like a fun time. Gameplay-wise, it looks definitely on the around the 7 out of 10 side, but it looks fun. I'm really excited for it. I just want more games like this. I really do. A solid, good time. Not gonna waste 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 hours of your time. Solid, fun time. So that's why it's there. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm saying I'm sorry. Because some people are going to be like, Diablo isn't number 20, but this is? It's just a preference. I rather play something like this. Will this game be terrible? It has every chance to be terrible. Every game has a chance to be terrible. But besides, of course, Garfield Lasagna Party. Everybody knew that game was amazing. But I don't know. I'm excited for it. That's why it's my number 20. All right, so let's get to my number 19, which will be Dead Island 2. Now, Dead Island 2, I'm not gonna lie, was originally much further in the list because I'm actually really excited for it. But I had to look at everything else that was ahead of, and then really think to myself, is this game gonna be better? Because it looks like Dead Island. It looks like Dead Island, better graphics, definitely way gorier. Even though Dead Island was pretty gory, but just like this game, it might be one of the goriest games I've seen, at least for zombies. But I was very excited for Dead Island 2. Ever since they announced it in 2014 with that awesome trailer, still one of the best trailers. Definitely one of the best trailers for a game that never came out, which is not the case anymore. But it was a good trailer. I was very excited for it. I really enjoyed the original Dead Island. It has problems, of course, but it was a fun time. I had a good time with that game. So I was excited for it, and this game looks like a lot of fun. I have to be a little skeptical because it looks like it could be one of those where it just feels like the same game and they didn't really improve enough on it, but it looks like a very fun time. So that's it. Number 19 is Dead Island 2. That's all I really gotta say. So moving on. All right, so moving on to number 18, which is Starfield. This is gonna piss some people off, I know it. Starfield is a game I'm very excited about. The gameplay last year didn't really wow me. I thought it looked good. I was like, all right, that looks really good. I mean, it looks like a Bethesda game, except has some good concepts. The hundred, I think they said thousands of planets, maybe. But they're not randomly generated. They actually made thousands of planets. Sounds really cool. They didn't show enough for me though. Like they showed a lot of gameplay that looked, I thought, good. I know a lot of people were like, eh, but I was like, yeah, it looks fun. It looks fine. It looks fun. So they didn't show enough. They talked about a lot, but at this point I just don't. It's not that I don't believe them. I don't really, but that's not the reason why this isn't higher. It's just that I don't believe they're gonna do it right. You know what I mean? Like the thousands of planets or 1,000 planets. I think it was just over 1,000 planets. I just don't think it'll probably be there, but there'll probably be a lot of planets that are just barren wastelands. I know. I think they said that's not gonna be the case, but I just don't. I don't know. I just don't believe anybody anymore when they just talk about the game and not show it. And they did show it. They just didn't show certain parts that should be really exciting. I can't anymore. I'm sorry, I just can't. I am looking forward to it. Really, obviously, it's still in my top 20, and there's a lot of games this year, but I had to put it a little bit lower just because of right now. But Xbox is rumored to have a showcase soon. There's also another rumor saying Starfield won't be there, so fucking find out. I don't know. So anyway, there you go. That's my number 18. I'm still looking forward to it. So, all right, number 17. To be honest, I forgot what it is. What is it? Of course, Hogwarts Legacy. The game, if you say you're excited for it, you're a bigot. Sorry. No. You're allowed to be excited for this game. I'm sorry. You are allowed to be excited for whatever you want to be excited for, as long as it's not actually harmful. Actually harmful. This is not harmful to be excited about a Harry Potter game. So yeah, this game looks like it'll be a lot of fun. Now, I haven't watched the Harry Potter movies in a very long time. The last one I watched was probably Fantastic Beasts, the first one. Didn't watch the second or the third one. Nobody watched the third one, but it'll be the last one too. But I'm very excited for this because the world itself looks great. I think they did a great job. All the effects, all the little magical abilities and stuff, just like things floating in environments and all the portraits moving and stuff. It reminded me a lot of how I felt when I was a kid watching the original couple of Harry Potter movies. I didn't really watch the other ones until a little bit later, I don't think, because I watched the first two we were on a school trip. I remember that, and we watched both of them in the theater, not at the same time, obviously. But I want to say it was not the same teacher, but it was like the same whatever we're doing. We were going there to watch a movie, and we saw a Harry Potter, and then we saw Harry Potter again the next year. I remember that. I think that was like the only 2 times I went to a theater for a school trip, I want to say. So no, I think I also saw Lilo and Stitch. I vaguely remember that. Anyway, no one cares. Anyway, Hogwarts Legacy looks fun. The open world, all the flying around and stuff. The little like area you can have all your beasts in. That was really cool. It looks really good. The combat's the only thing I'm a little worried about, but it still looks like it'll be pretty solid. The world itself looks like they nailed. So I think that'll be the most important part. So anyway, that's my number 17, Hogwarts Legacy. All right, so number 16 is Suicide Squad. And let me zoom that in. That looks stupid. Ew. There you go. That looks better. Some of these pictures, I couldn't find an actual poster, like a good looking poster at least. All right, so, well, that's actually too zoomed in now. And whatever. Who cares? You don't care. Anyway, I think the game looks like a lot of fun. I just think, and of course, Rocksteady, it's been way too long. It's been 8 years since Rocksteady's last game. Well, 7 years technically because of Arkham VR, but since their last full-fledged game. And I was expecting something a little bit more showy when they first showed this game. When I heard there was a Suicide Squad game, I was like, oh, that could be good. Oh, yeah. When they first showed this game is when they were still showing behind-the-scenes stuff for the Suicide Squad. That movie came out almost 2 years ago, and this game's still not out. Of course, games take a long time to make. I'm not saying anything about that. I just wish they waited a little while and showed this game appropriately, because I think they're not showing this game well. But when they do show it, it looks fun, and really, I'm only putting it this high because of Rocksteady, and well, that's really it. It's Rocksteady. I mean, the game itself looks fun, but the only reason why it's even in my top 20 right now is because of Rocksteady. If it was made by somebody else, say the guys that did Gotham Knights, this would not be on my top 20. I am excited for it. The game looks like it could be fun. I need more. And I'm sure they'll show more very soon. Because it would be really weird if they didn't show anything until really close to release. I have a feeling we're going to get a big drop of gameplay very soon for this game. So maybe even at that Xbox thing that's rumored. But yeah, right now, as of recording this video, there's nothing. I'm recording this, by the way, I just want to January 10th. So I'm uploading this at either 11th or 12th. Hopefully nothing happens in the next 2 days because now I feel kind of bad. Anyway, that's it. So number whatever is this. All right, so my number 15 is Street Fighter 6. I forgot to use that poster actually, because I didn't want to use the cover art because I don't like the way it looks. So I found this one. Shoutouts to Julio Khan who made this. I guess I was just on Google Image. I found it. Anyway, Street Fighter 6. I said earlier that I'm not a big fighting game fan, and Tekken 8 looks great. It looks great, especially. But everything I've seen of Street Fighter 6 looks really freaking good. Like, I didn't really care for 4 that much personally, and I never played 5, but this looks awesome. I'm very excited. I like everything I've seen about the story mode and even the little area you go like walk around and stuff, but even like the story itself and all the characters, it looks great. Like, I love the effects and stuff. It looks awesome, like the painted look. It actually reminded me, well, I guess it's the other way around. Need for Speed kind of reminded me of what they were doing here, because the new Need for Speed had that like kind of almost graffiti look to it. This one more just paint. I really like the look of this. I think it looks great. So this being that high is actually like, because I'm not a Street Fighter guy at all. I haven't been since I was a kid, and even when I was a kid, I wasn't like a competitive Street Fighter guy. I just played it as fun. Same thing with any fighting game. Actually, pretty much any game except maybe like Halo and like for a little bit of Counter-Strike on Xbox. But yeah, so it's great. It looks great, I should say. So there you go. That's my number 15, Street Fighter 6. Number 14 is Stalker 2. This game looks insane. I'm not gonna lie, I'm terrified. This game looks terrifying to me. Like, it's actually going to terrify the shit out of me. The newest gameplay they showed, maybe a little bit less so, but everything else I've seen looks like it's going to have one of the most atmospheric environments I've ever seen. I've heard Stalker 1 is insane, and all like the expansions, wherever, is insane when it comes to how realistic it feels and how deadly realistic, not realistic, like how deadly the difficulty is. It's supposedly really tough. So I'm very excited for this game. I'm very scared of it, but it looks awesome. It looks so good. And I hope the developers obviously can fight through and finish this game because it looks awesome. And I hope everything works out for them. So it looks great. So Stalker 2 is definitely in my top 20. Had to put it in there somewhere, and I think this is a good fit considering I've never played Stalker 1. But it looks great. So there you go. Number 14, excuse me, the numbers, is Stalker 2. Number 13 is Sea of Stars. If you've never heard of this game, this is, I have a feeling it's going to be a big game this year. People are going to love it when it finally comes out. It was supposed to come out last year, but they delayed it, which is, hey, a delayed game. What is the Miyamoto quote? What do you say? A delayed game can make you happy, or something like that. I think that's the exact quote. But yeah, Sea of Stars looks amazing to the point where it's one of the few. I didn't support the Kickstarter, but they had a Kickstarter additional thing. You know how some Kickstarters have like, hey, if you missed our Kickstarter, then you could still get this Kickstarter reward on our website. And I just bought the collector's edition. I was like, this game looks incredible. It looks so good. JRPG, very much in the vein of something like a Chrono Trigger or an old school SNES, great looking JRPG. Reminds me a little bit now of Chained Echoes. I guess it was the other way around. Chained Echoes kind of remind me more of Sea of Stars. If you don't know what Chained Echoes is, go play it. I played the first couple hours. It's great. It's on Game Pass. It looks awesome. It looks fantastic. I'm very excited. Oh, and is it the Chrono Trigger composer? I think is working on it too. I think, right? Or am I getting my wires crossed? I think that's true. I think that's correct. But yeah, I'm very excited. It looks great. So I highly recommend it. So I highly recommend at least checking it out. The game, the trailers, watch them if you haven't heard. Anyway, that's it. That's number 13. All right, so number 12 is Dead Space Remake. I'm not gonna lie, this was gonna be, originally this was gonna be, I think, my number 6, but I had to really take in consideration that it's one, a remake, and two, it literally comes out in like 2 weeks. So I had to take it into consideration a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it just being a remake isn't really a fault. It's just that I've played the game before. It's gonna be different, sure. But I also had to take in consideration that there's a couple things in the gameplay. So far, I think it looks fantastic. But there's a couple things that make me a little worried. Like the way you move with the gun out looks a little weird. Even the aiming looks maybe, like, it'll probably be good when you play it, but it looks like it might not be as satisfying. And also, I still don't like the whole, I don't know, what like, not his face. His face looks fine. Isaac's face looks fine. Except his Nicole's face, it doesn't really. I don't know. There was something about Dead Space 1 where him not talking was cool. But I don't know. I'm like conflicted because I like that he talks more because I liked Isaac from Dead Space 2 when he talked a lot. I thought that was cool. But I hope it doesn't ruin some moments in Dead Space 1. I don't think it's going to. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with a reason why it's not in my top 10, which it should probably be in my top 10, but it's only because it literally comes out in like 2 weeks. So, and it's a remake, I guess. I don't know. Which, there's another game later on in my list that's a remake, but it looks like it's changing a lot of things up. So it's a little bit, I don't know. This is still changing things up. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, but hey, that's still pretty high up. Number 12. What the fuck? Anyway, that's it. Dead Space Remake. All right, so last one, and then we'll be in our top 10. Number 11 is Spider-Man 2, which I know that's going to piss people off. What? That's not your number 1? Listen, we haven't seen the game yet, okay? And, all right, please don't hate me. Please don't hate me. I think Spider-Man 1 is great. I think it's a great game. I have problems with it, okay? I think the story itself is mediocre. I'm sorry. I didn't really care for a lot of the characters. I think the writing, I don't want to shit on Insomniac. I really don't. I don't. I love Insomniac. I've always have since I was a kid. Ever since I played the Ratchet and Clank games. I don't like their writing. I just don't. I like, even in the newest Ratchet and Clank, I don't like their writing. I just don't. Personally, I think everything's a little too, I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? Not happy-go-lucky. It's just, everything's too clean. I don't know how else to explain it. I personally just don't like their writing. But their gameplay is fucking awesome. Spider-Man 1, amazing gameplay. And that's really what's important. So I'm sure, and also this is going to be, I think, a PS5 exclusive, right? It's not going to be on PS4. So I would love to see what a Spider-Man game will look like. Oh, and Venom, Tony Todd, I forgot about that. Never mind, it's number 1. I don't even know what the fuck I was thinking. Tony Todd as Venom? That's Candyman? Fuck. Come on now. Originally, I would have picked Keith David, but Tony Todd is such a great choice. Ah, so good. I'm thinking of like people that have like beautiful voices that should be Venom. Not that I ever think like Venom should have a beautiful voice, but you know, whatever. Anyway, Spider-Man 2 is definitely still there. We just haven't seen it yet. I do think we're getting it this year. I believe that like 100%, but we just haven't seen enough of it yet. So, or at any of it really. I'm sure when they show, I'll be like, nah, it's in my top 5. But anyway, there you go. That's it. Number 11. So let's get on to the top 10. My number 10 is Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which I am so freaking excited about. I loved all the characters in Jedi Fallen Order. I was surprised by how much I actually like Cal. Let me just zoom this in. It's gonna annoy me. The Suicide Squad one I can get over with. This one not so much. Because look how good that poster is. Look how good it is. It's so simple. It's so simple. I love it though. But I was so surprised by how much I loved Jedi Fallen Order. I knew I was gonna like it because Respawn is a great studio. They've made nothing but bangers. I think even like Apex Legends, which I don't play, is a banger. I am very, very excited because I was surprised by how much I like Cal and all the supporting characters and how invested I was and how great the gameplay was and how awesome exploring was. The only thing I didn't like is like some of the backtracking and the map. I remember the map being really annoying, but I thought just it was so good. It looked great. It played well. There were some glitches here and there and some frame rate issues, but this game just blew me away at the Game Awards. It might be my favorite non-reveal trailer of the Game Awards, meaning like it's not a reveal. Like Judas or Hades 2 would probably be my favorite because those are first game, like they've shown them first time, you know, a reveal. It's probably my favorite gameplay trailer or just trailer of the Game Awards that isn't a reveal. It looks so good. It looks so good. I can't wait. I want to see what's going on. I want to see what happened to our family because I thought we were going to get a nice little like Vin Diesel style family towards the end of Fallen Order, and now, oh no, everybody's separated. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And I know there's a novel coming out that's going to explain what happened. I don't know if I want to read that exactly because I can't read. But I'm fucking hyped. I can't wait. A week before Resident Evil 4 too. Oh, I better hurry. All right, so now let's go on to my number 9, which is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which of course is part 2 of the Final Fantasy VII trilogy. The reason why this isn't higher is because we've only seen a little bit. And I thought Final Fantasy VII Remake was great, and I like what they're doing. Personally, I'm like one of the few people that I feel like that I know of, at least, that likes what they're doing. To be fair, it's been a very long time since I played Final Fantasy VII. I'm planning on replaying that game sometime this year. But to be fair, I was also planning on doing that before the remake came out. But now I really kind of want to because we're in the meat of the story of Final Fantasy VII. So I feel like I really need a refresher. But the trailer they showed looked great, and I really like what they were doing with remake personally, from what I remember of the original, and I could see what they're going with. I still need to finish Crisis Core again, I should say, because I did finish that when it first came out on PSP. But yeah. The Crisis Core remaster. But yeah, of course, I'm excited for it. I don't have much to say about it because, of course, we haven't seen too much of it, but I'm excited to see how that story progresses. So there you go. See my girl Tifa again. Yeah. All right, so my number 8 is Final Fantasy 16. I figured I looped these two in together. Now, I should mention, besides 7 and like almost 20 hours of 9, and I would say at least most of Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. I'm not like the biggest Final Fantasy guy. Like I didn't really like 10. 12 I got like maybe 20 to 30 hours in. I don't remember loving it. I remember liking it. I don't remember loving it. Obviously I never finished it. Never played 13 or any of the 13s. Got about 20 hours into 15. I guess it's just like 20 to 30 hours is where I just stopped with Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 7 Remake I did finish. But 15 I just stopped. I was getting bored, I'm not gonna lie. But I was really enjoying it at first, but then it just got really tedious and boring, and I wasn't really into the story personally. But this game looks incredible. I really want to play Final Fantasy 14 so bad, and I know it's the guy that worked on that is working on this, and this game looks incredible. It looks crazy. I can't wait to play this. I'm very excited for it. The only reason why I didn't put it higher is because I'm just not as big of a Final Fantasy fan as some people. It looks dark too, which I love dark fantasy, but I'm just not into the Final Fantasy universe as much as some people. So when they show like all these summons and stuff, I'm like, yeah, I know them. I'm just not like, whoa, you know. I see people reactions. I'm like, yeah, I'm happy they're excited. I am too, because it looks incredible. Also, I think they should show a little bit more gameplay. They've shown gameplay, but it's mainly been story and a lot of like the summons and stuff. But I want to see some actual gameplay, and we've seen some. Again, I just want to see more. But anyway, that's it. Final Fantasy 16, of course. Number 7 is Alan Wake 2, which I hope actually comes out this year. They said it is. I have a feeling it might not, but I hope if it comes out this year, obviously the sooner the better, but October would be nice. Alan Wake 1 is a underrated masterpiece in my eyes. I love it. I really do. I got halfway through the remaster. I played that game like probably 5 times. So I didn't need to finish it again. But I played through half of it and I was like, this game holds up still. And it looks really good, especially on OLED. Shit. On OLED, that game looked awesome. Especially with all the lighting effect. Oh, it's so good. But Alan Wake 1, I love. And them saying this is going to be their first survival horror game, I was like, oh my god. Because Alan Wake is not really a survival horror game. It obviously has horror elements, but it's definitely more of an action game. This just immediately he said that, I was like, oh my god, being in like a town and it's like all creepy and shit, and you're Alan Wake and you're like scrounging for bullets. Oh my god, it's like Resident Evil 2 shit. Oh my god. Oh, that sounds so good. I can't wait. But they haven't shown anything, so again, I have to be fair and say like other games have shown a lot more right now. They've only shown a trailer and talked about it, so hype is pretty high, but I'll give it a 7. The 7th place right now. Sorry, I got really excited. Anyway, that's it. Bye. Yeah, bye. We're done. No. Number 6. My number 6 is Atomic Heart. Just missed 5. Just missed it by this much. It was gonna be number 5, but then I remembered a game that's supposedly coming out this year. I was like, ooh, that might be a little bit more excited for that one. We'll get to that. But number 6, Atomic Heart looks incredible. I can't wait for this game. It looks so good. The only thing that I'm a little worried about is that like impressions have been solid so far, but they haven't been like amazing, which makes me a little worried. I remember the same thing happened with Callisto Protocol. Everybody was like, yeah, it looks really good. Yeah, it plays good. Yeah. And then the game came out and everybody was shitting on it, which I really enjoyed that game. I don't give a fuck. I will defend that game. I really enjoyed it. But Atomic Heart looks amazing. I think graphically it looks awesome. The story itself looks odd and weird and wacky. It gives me massive BioShock vibes, which are always good vibes. Elizabeth, always good vibes. But it looks excellent. I think it looks great, really. And it's a Game Pass game? Motherfucker, what? Like, that's free if you have Game Pass. It looks great. So I've talked about it plenty in the past. I've done reactions for pretty much everything Atomic Heart related. To the point I even made a playlist of it, just in case anybody wanted to like go through. Because it's been since 2018 since I've watched trailers for this. So it's been 5 years, like beginning of 2018 too. So it's been legitimately 5 years since I first saw gameplay of this game, and it's finally out almost. We'll see. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't get delayed. But it looks awesome. So that is number 6, Atomic Heart. All right, so we're in the top 5. What could have possibly beat out Atomic Heart for number 5? That would be Black Myth Wukong, which looks absolutely incredible. This is the game, of course, that it's the Sun Wukong story, the Monkey King. I don't know much about that story. I'm not gonna lie. Besides for the various things that obviously pay tribute to it or adapt it. Like I don't know why I immediately thought about the what's it called, Forbidden Kingdom, the Jet Li Jackie Chan movie. But of course, even like Dragon Ball, obviously his name is Son Goku in there, which I think his name is actually Son Goku in some form. I don't know much about the story. I'm talking purely gameplay, visuals, story. Everything we've seen so far of this game looks incredible. The production values look insane. It looks incredible. And supposedly it's coming out this year. It keeps saying 2023. It could get delayed, but as of recording right now, it's still set for a 2023 release. It looks incredible. It really does. It looks fantastic. You need to watch some gameplay for this game. It looks like it's going to be one of the best of the year. It looks great. So not much to say about it. It has a very like maybe Souls-ish style combat, maybe even more like a Zelda, lock on and stuff. But you have like all these abilities. It looks great. So and I have a feeling it's gonna really please the people that love this story, which a lot of people love this story. So anyway, that's it. Number 5 is Black Myth Wukong. Number 4 is Resident Evil 4. Now, you're probably like, what? Huh? What? Why is it only number 4? It should be number 1, you fucker. All right. So, let me explain something to you. Okay? Don't you ever call me fucker again. But let me explain something to you. And you're going to be really upset. I think Resident Evil 4, the original, is a great game. It's fantastic. It really is. It's not one of my favorite games of all time. And I do think it's a little dated. Last time I played it was a few years ago at this point, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And I didn't finish it, to be fair, but got a few hours in, and I felt some of it was a little dated. Personally, that game's still great. Some of it's a little dated, just a little bit. So I'm excited for a remake. And everything they've shown so far has been fantastic. But I have that I don't love Resident Evil 4 as much as everybody else does attitude. Well, I totally get if it's one of your favorite games. I'm not saying like I always feel weird sharing my opinion because there's gonna be that one fucking asshole that comes out and says like, well, fuck, this guy doesn't even like fucking Resident Evil 4. What? I said I liked that. That was great, and it's a fantastic game. It's just not one of my favorite games like everybody else says. Like it's one of my favorite games. I get it. I totally get it. If it's one of yours, it's just not one of mine. So I have to take that in consideration. This is a remake of a game like it was like what Resident Evil 3 remake. I wouldn't have put that number 1 of my most anticipated games because I thought Resident Evil 3 was a very good game. I didn't think it was amazing back in the day, but I thought it was very good. Here, I think the game that's remaking is fantastic. I just don't think it's as amazing as some people say, personally. But everything I've seen of this, dude, you compare the chainsaw guy with the sword. I mean, the sword. I fucking wish a sword. With the knife. Fucking fantastic. Dude, Dr. Salvador looks amazing. Insane. He looks insane. Everything looks insane. They kept the bingo line. I had a confirmation they kept the bingo line. You can put a fucking cow on fire. Looks great. That RE engine flexing too. Woo! Anyway, so that's my number 4, Resident Evil 4. The deluxe edition. Only the deluxe edition. That's the best quality poster I could find. Anyway, that's it. Number 4. Now we get to the top 3. What could be my number 3? Well, it's a game that just got announced. Hades 2, baby. Now, this is slightly unfair because it will come out this year, but it will be in early access. Again, this is my most anticipated games, okay? Some people are going to put like certain other games, like Kerbal Space Program, I'm sure is some people's most anticipated game. Guess what? That's going early access. So if you could put that on your list, I could put this on mine. Especially since it's a sequel to a game that we all know was amazing. With the same thing with Kerbal Space Program. But Hades 1 and pretty much everything Supergiant makes is either very fucking good or amazing. Hades 1 is an amazing game. I loved it to death. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, I am so fucking excited to play an early access game that I know will be great to begin with. Because I don't keep up with early access games because I don't know if they're gonna be good, and if I do know they're good, I just have other games to play. This game, I'm actually excited to play a game in early access, so whenever there's new content update and there's more stuff, I get to play it. I don't know, it's exciting me, and knowing it's gonna be more Hades is amazing. So I play a lot of Hades 1. I never got to the end though, I will say, which is incredible because I love Hades. I'm looking around, I have a bunch of Hades shit around, but I never got to the end. I beat Hades quite a few times, but never got to the end. But that game is incredible. I love it, and I got like 40 hours in. I need to play more. I know. So I'm gonna try to do that before Hades 2 comes out. But I pretty much know how it ends anyway. I had it kind of spoiled, not really, but the character interactions are the best part of that game anyway. So there you go. That's it. That's number 3. So moving right along. Oh, before we move along though, I should mention that number 3 was originally going to be Judas, which is the game made by the guys that did BioShock Infinite, and of course BioShock 1. Ken Levine, of course, the guy I should say, the guys, whatever. The reason why that's not number 3 is because and Hades 2 was actually going to be number 4. The reason why that is because I don't think it's coming out in 2023. It doesn't say anywhere that it's coming in 2023, and I have a feeling we're probably not going to get it in 2023. It could possibly happen, and I am very excited for it, but I don't think we're going to get it in 2023. There's nowhere there where it says that, and I have a feeling it's going to be one of those games where it's going to take a little while. So that's the only reason why. So anyway, now let's move on to number 2. All right, last two. Number 2 is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. You probably thought, oh, that's going to be number 1. No, no, no. My number 1, like I said earlier, you probably skipped it though. Uh, I'll say it again. Is going to probably upset some people and confuse others. And then maybe a few people will get it because they know I'm a huge fan of that particular thing. But yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, I can't wait for. The only problem I have, and really this is might be the only reason why it's not number 1, is that they're not really marketing it all that great. I really don't think so. Like the trailers have been good, but not like super memorable, like a lot of the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild trailers have been or were. Because even the reveal of that game before I even had Breath of the Wild, I could be wrong. It might not have had the Breath of the Wild title. Maybe it did. The one where it's like it's like, look, this is the new Zelda game, and then it goes into the gameplay and stuff. Obviously, it's all fake. Because it looked way too good for a Switch or a Wii U. And he jumps in the air and shoots the Guardian and stuff. That was an amazing reveal. And the Tears of the Kingdom reveal was good, but it was just like, all right, that was good, cool glimpses and stuff. But I don't think they've ever had trailers that were even close to as good as some of the other Breath of the Wild ones. Like, to be fair, Breath of the Wild though, to be fair to Breath of the Wild, they didn't get that amazing trailer that everybody loves until like 2 months before the game came out. So we still have some time. This comes out in May, but I'm fucking hyped. Breath of the Wild is one of the best games of last gen, straight up. Like, I don't think there's any questioning that. I think, and I say last gen, even though technically Switch is still is in its own gen, I guess. I don't know, but it came out 4 years after PS4. So I guess technically Switch gen is still kind of the PS5 and Series X gen. I guess I don't know. I'm a little lost there, but I'm excited. I'm very excited. But there is one I'm more excited about. And nobody is gonna like this. That's not true. There's gonna be some people, but it's a game I can't fucking wait for. I can't. My number 1 most anticipated game, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little biased because I fucking love the original game, and it's been so long. It's been so long. No, it's not Beyond Good and Evil. I know that's never coming out. Beyond Good and Evil 2. It's not, but it is a number 2. Hopefully, it's not number 2 in a different way. And that is The Wolf Among Us 2. I fucking cannot wait. The Wolf Among Us is probably one of my favorite stories of all time. I love it. I love The Wolf Among Us. I really do. All the characters, the look, the feel, the vibes. I love it. To the point where I don't do this often, but I bought the Fables comics. And I'm not gonna lie, not that I didn't like the Fables comics, but I read like the first compendium book, and I was like, I like this, but it's just not. It wasn't what I wanted. I wanted more. It was too different from The Wolf Among Us. So I was like, all right, this is still good. This is a nice little thing, but I probably won't continue. I did buy the first 2 books, and I only read the first one. It was definitely different. It was different vibes too, and look. But I appreciate that book. It's just not what I was looking for after Wolf Among Us 1. But it's been... Wolf Among Us 1 started 10 years ago. The first episode came out in 2013, I want to say. And then it ended in 2014. Because that's when they would do an episode every few months at that point. Like, Wolf Among Us, it took a long time until we got episode 2. I remember that. Because episode 1 ended on, like, such a fucking, like, what the fuck cliffhanger. And then we had to wait literally, like, 4 months. Back like Telltale would crack out another episode for their big ones, like Walking Dead, a month, maybe a month and a half later. Fucking Wolf Among Us, they're like, no, we'll take our time. Fuck you. I'm like, but I cannot wait. The reveals, the trailers have been excellent. I've watched them so many times. That one that has that fucking that song. I actually listen to that song a lot now, and I cannot remember what. That song. Light up the night, I think it's called. I think so. I put it on my playlist, it just plays whatever. But I can't express how fucking excited I am to see Big Butte again, and Snow and all these characters, even the new characters. I can't wait. I really can't. The way Wolf Among Us 1 ended is still like oh, I can't fucking wait. It's like the Darkness 2. If you ever played the Darkness 2, it ends on such a cliffhanger, like, oh fuck, let's go. And then we never got Darkness 3, and we never will. Which is upsetting. But hey, we are getting Wolf Among Us 2, and it's hopefully going to be amazing. And I think we're going to get it all as one thing, right? Just one whole game. Ooh, no waiting. No wait until out, baby. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I really am. I can't wait. Every time I think about Wolf Among Us 2, I'm like, so I love Wolf Among Us. I really do. It's one of my favorite stories, period. And I'm not even talking about just video games, really, just ever. If there was more Wolf Among Us merch, you'd see a bunch of statues and shit. You'd see a fucking Bigby Wolf statue right next to Elizabeth over here. So I love Wolf Among Us, and I can't wait for 2. So that's my number 1. I know that's probably not going to be what people expected, especially if you don't know me that much. But that's them's the breaks. So let me know what your I don't know. Let me know what your most anticipated games of 2022 or 2023 are. I guess I guess we should probably do like a recap. Let's just do a real quick recap. Number 20 was Wanted Dead. Number 19, I don't know why I'm counting on hands, whatever. Number 19 was Dead Island 2. Number 18 was Starfield. Number 17 was Hogwarts Legacy. Number 16 was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Number 15 was Street Fighter 6. Number 14 was Stalker 2. Number 13 was Sea of Stars. Number 12 was Dead Space Remake. Number 11 was Spider-Man 2. Number 10 was Jedi Survivor. Number 9 was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I should put that number 7. Fuck, I should have put this number 16. Number 8 was Final Fantasy 16. Number 7 was Alan Wake 2. Number 6 is Atomic Heart. Number 5 is Black Myth Wukong. Number 4 is Resident Evil 4. Number 3 is Hades 2. With an exception, maybe Judas if it does come out this year, if they confirm that. Number 2 is the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and number 1 is The Wolf Among Us 2. So there you go. That is that. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't,